Hey, chicken girl, chicken girl.
Yeah?
Don't let her in the barn while we're working on airplanes.
Don't worry, she'll back up.
This is the RC Jet Jock. Oh, I just broke it. What's going on, guys? Jet Jock here. As you can see, we've been busy doing the full scale thing over here, so we didn't do quite as much as we wanted to this week, but we did finish the 182. So how about we get you caught up on that? Our week started off with the trip down to the mailbox where we picked up our spinner adapter. We ended up having to buy a new spinner adapter kit because the diameter of the old gasoline-powered engine's drive shaft was much smaller than this 50cc electric-powered motor. Now we're going to put the wings on and see if we can achieve balance. That way we can find the final position of where all the batteries and electronic components inside the cabin are going to go. Now that we've got that figured out, let's delve into the electrical system on the airplane. Initially, when I powered the airplane up, I noticed that the flaps weren't even. And then I hit the switch on my radio and realized they were backwards. So I just switched around the plugs real quick and all was fixed. Then I had to make a couple adjustments on the flaps to stop that servo buzzing noise when they have reached their limits, either up or down. Now it's time to set the throws on all the control surfaces. As you saw from that slide before, that's the reference in the manual that I used to figure out what my baseline is going to be. That baseline will be my mid rates. I'll go a little bit higher for my high rates and a little bit less for my low rates. That way I have options for the maiden flight. Now it's time to permanently set up the receiver. You're probably wondering, why is he drilling a hole in the side of the fuselage? That's because I'm a little bit old school and I've had some interference in the past with batteries getting in the way and other things. So I like to run at least one of the antenna wires to the outside of the airplane. That way there's nothing blocking it. Now it's time to cut the battery trays. One will just have Velcro stuck to it for the receiver battery. The other will have two Velcro straps stapled to it, then glued into position so it can hold the power batteries. And all of our work was interrupted because of a special visitor.
It's Penny!
As you can see here, I'm stapling those Velcro straps to the power battery tray. Then I left to go pick up the batteries. That way we can do a test fit before we do final installation in the airplane. Well, that completes the build of the 182. Stay tuned for the maiden, it'll be coming soon. All right, guys, now that we got you all caught up on the 182, I'll meet you in the garage tomorrow morning. Well, welcome back to another week, guys. We're back in the garage here. We're going to do a little more work on our Kingair here, our RC Aerodyne Kingair, by the way. A lot of y'all asked who makes this kit. It was an RC Aerodyne kit. And if y'all haven't seen in the previous episode, it was a prototype. Only a handful were made. And like I said, it would have been a huge mistake if I would have sold this airplane. So I'm glad that the sale fell through and it's here. So, we haven't had a lot of time to work on it. As y'all saw in the previous stuff, the 182 back there is done. So we're just waiting on the weather to get a little bit better, maybe a little warmer for maiden. So stay tuned, guys, check that out. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss things like that or, the progress on our Kingair here. Also, we do have social media. We are very active on Facebook. So check out the RC Jet Jock Facebook page where we're going to keep y'all posted and just on our day-to-day activities. As I opened it up, I was flying a lot this week. We had a lot of stuff going on around the farm. Our truck broke down and stuff like that. So Chicken Girl, because the truck broke down, they had to go pick me up at the airport last night, which is over an hour drive. So needless to say, we got back a little late. I normally wake up early no matter what. So Chicken Girl may or may not join us this morning. So that's yet to be seen. So today what we're going to be working on the Kingair is we're going to go ahead and get this nice smooth off, get all of this old coating off, the iron-on coating here, get it completely off. And then we're going to put on the new coating. This will be finished up, and then if we have time, we'll get the wings all plugged back in and bolted together. So that's the plan for today. I know it's not a whole bunch. I really hope to have been able to work on this a little bit more, but you know what? We got to be adults sometime, right, guys? So, we're gonna start sanding this off, and let's get a knife too. A knife usually works pretty well. Yeah, so like I said, I've been on the road a lot this week. We've had a lot happen. Just the other day, we were getting my truck just to move it out of the way, and I started it up, and it was just acting real funny and all kinds of stuff. And then I noticed that the battery was draining while it was running, and then we started seeing white smoke coming out of the hood. So it looks like it was a bad alternator, so hopefully we get that back soon. I'd love to hear how you guys' week's been, so please leave that in the comments, or y'all's flying plans, or if y'all flew anything, I'd love to hear it. So yeah, we're just shaving off the excess glue here, and then we're gonna get this old coating off of here so we can put on the new coating. Yes, we're going old school. I've got the iron and the roll of monocoat over there, or whatever you want to call it nowadays. Starting this hobby in the 90s, it was monocoat. Now, a couple of other things. Chicken Girl and I decided, after talking about it, that money's kind of scarce right now, so we got to buy those servos for the airplane. So that's first and foremost. And we don't want this to drag on so long that you guys don't get to actually see this plane fly in a reasonable amount of time. So I think what we decided is we're not going to paint it. We're going to spruce it up, make it a little bit nicer, put a tail number on it, and we're gonna fly for you guys first, and then we'll add details and scale stuff later, just so it doesn't drag out too long for y'all. But y'all also have time to put your input in, because we're still trying to get everything ready. So if y'all would rather see it painted first, I'd love to hear from y'all. We love listening to y'all's suggestions. And we also, while I'm talking about it, I want to thank everybody for y'all's input on the servo situation. It was nice to hear that Corona servos are pretty good. But I think what we're going to end up doing is replacing them. And it's not because of the brand thing. One of them has a questionable plug, and I just don't want to take any chances with that. So we're going to just go ahead and replace them with some high-techs. And that way the whole airplane is gonna just be high-tech servos, and we've had good success with them in the past, and I'm sure this, that, or the other, people have had good or bad experiences with them. So yeah, I think that's the route that we're gonna go. Man, this stuff is really stuck in there. There's a lot of glue up in here. Might have to sand some of this off, but at least we're getting the big chunks off. So also this week, it seemed like there was a little bit of an exciting news. It looks like Free Wings re-releasing the Typhoon, or not the Typhoon, the Eurofighter. Looks pretty. Love to hear your comments about what y'all think about that release. It seems pretty cool. I mean, I'm not sure if it's a true re-release, since they said that it's a little bit different, and I've heard from some people that it doesn't have thrust vectoring, which I hear was a very popular feature on the original one. I've had no experience with the original one, so I couldn't say for sure. But it looks like a pretty cool release. I'm glad to see that they're getting the 90 millimeter line back up and going, because you know us over here, we like the bigger stuff. So, but yeah, leave in the comments. Tell me what y'all think about Free Wing's new release, because it seems pretty cool. But I love hearing from the community and hearing what you guys think. So yesterday's trip was pretty fun. Anyway, we were on the road out in Beaumont, and we went and visited Doc. I'm not sure if how many of y'all have come after that episode, but episode 43, check it out. Doc's a really cool guy. He's a good friend of ours down there in Beaumont, and he invited us while we were there, you know, for a few hours. He invited us out to the airfield, and I wish I would have gotten video, but he wanted to fly together. So he had a couple of Habus. He had the STS and the SS. Since I've flown the STS, he actually let me fly his Habu SS, and that was just a blast. I mean, that was just so much fun. Flying together, first and foremost, is really awesome, you know, especially with such a stable, predictable airplane. You know, all that pressure that, you know, sometimes that you can get when you're flying these more expensive models was gone. So we had a really, really good time doing that. It was funny though, we get out to the field and the mosquitoes were just awful. They were like, the second that we pulled up to the pit area, they were like hitting his van and stuff, like trying to get in, trying to get after us. And I was thinking, oh man, we're not gonna get much flying done today. But fortunately, for some reason, I guess they just didn't like me. My blood must be bitter or something. They didn't want anything to do with us. So we ended up having a great time. We both got 2 flights in, and having never flown the SS before, I was quite happy with the performance of the airplane. The verticals and stuff were a lot better compared to the STS. It wasn't quite as fast as I was expecting, but then again, you know, with that big fat wing and the aerodynamics of a trainer, I guess that makes sense that it wouldn't have been as fast. But boy, the vertical definitely was impressive, and I was able to do all kinds of fun stuff with it. So, hey Doc, if you're watching, thanks for the invite, bud. That was so much fun. I can't wait to do it again. You know, maybe next time we can get your King Twin out there, and we can video you flying it around. All right, so we're just sanding off the bottom of this wing now, getting it nice and smooth. You know, I'm not as concerned about the looks on these parts, because the top part, first of all, is not going to be exposed. Secondly, this part shouldn't be exposed either, because we got that belly pan that's going to go over it. So we're just looking for just making sure that this thing isn't flaking apart while we're, you know, working with it and stuff. So still want a decent whatchamacallit, we want it to adhere decently. Well, it looks like I forgot a scissors, so let me go run to the house real quick and bring me some scissors, and then we'll get this going. All right, guys, scissors in hand this time. So let's get this going. You know what? Yeah, plug in my iron. So, hey guys, I have a question for you. When's the last time that y'all went old school and used an iron for your coating? I'm sure some of you guys out there who are really experienced with doing this, and definitely aren't flying the ARFs as much as we have done it. But how many of you guys are still doing this on a daily? I haven't done a whole airplane in a really long time, probably since the early 2000s, if not even the late 90s was the last time that I've actually monocoated a whole airplane. So I'd love to hear from you guys who are still doing this, and probably all you guys that are still doing this are probably laughing at me right now because I'm sure inevitably I'm doing this way wrong, but that's okay. We all have to make mistakes. That's just part of it. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. Yeah, it's a pretty jagged piece. I'll put that to this. Oh, I don't know. It's a lot of coating. That's not gonna fit anyway. I'm gonna fit this direction though. Yeah. But I'd rather some straight edges. Let's see here. Oh, the good old days. I know it does get better when you do it like this. Sometimes. Okay, let's put the flaps in their up position. And then we can just coat this on and then just cut it off. What do you think? And like I said, I'm sure you guys are probably sitting there like, oh my God, this guy's an idiot. Or I'm sure y'all think that a lot, so no, I'm just teasing. I love you guys. I look forward to talking to y'all all the time when y'all leave comments and stuff, so. I like sharing my time with y'all and my hobby. And normally my family too, but they're sleeping. Let's see where we're at there. Woo, it feels nice and warm. It's cold this morning, but apparently this is nothing what it's compared to be later on in the week, so. I think we're sitting at like 46 degrees outside right now, and I'm thinking the last time I saw it, like next week, it's going to be in the 20s here, which whew, I'm not looking forward to that because I'll tell you one thing I don't like is cold. Let's see here. It's been a minute since I've done this. Let's start off by getting some straight lines here. Or straight-ish lines, that is. Like this little piece right here. That's a no-go. There, that's better. Now we can roll this back a little. Yeah, that's better. And like I said, I'm sure some of you guys who are really experienced with this are just cringing right now at my technique because it's pretty awful. It's like I said, it's been a long time since I've even done a repair really with this stuff. So, oh, the smell brings back memories though. Boy, does it bring back memories. Long hours sitting in my upstairs room as a teenager working on planes, and lots of nostalgia with this smell, but boy, what a difference! What a crazy change in the hobby since I was doing this. I mean, really, back whenever I was just learning, electrics were in their infancy. They were still using, NiCad batteries and very heavy. I mean, it was more of a novelty back then than it was, a mainstay like it is nowadays. I mean, we would have never dreamed of an electric powered Kingair, and the foam planes are made out of the beer cooler material and they look really kind of chinchy, like maybe something that you bought at Walmart, but nowadays they've come a long way. I mean, they almost look as good as, balsa planes and stuff, but I'm not, up close, obviously it's different, but far away, I mean, you would never know the difference. It's pretty amazing how we've changed. It really is. And I think it's all been for the better, and I know there's a lot of debate on you know, balsa flyers versus, and you know, guys, it doesn't really matter because I think that the foam and the electrics and all this new stuff, getting it easier to be in the hobby, is getting more people in the door. So, you know, all this bickering that we see all over the place about foamies and electrics and, you know, gas is better and all that. You know, guys, just chill out. It's all fun. Everybody's enjoying the hobby. And the important thing is this hobby is growing, and it'll continue to grow as long as we stay supportive of all factions of the hobby. Boy, does this bring back memories. Hours on end of doing this to whole airplanes, burning the crap out of your hands whenever you get hit by the iron. I can remember as a teenager, my mom getting so mad at me because I burnt a iron shape in the carpet, and I mean, goodness, that's too funny. Or accidentally leaving the iron on top of a rag on top of the desk, and you know, smelling a really bad burning smell. Oh, the things that we used to do. The hobby was good then, it's good now, you know? I'm enjoying seeing all the different things coming out, and, you know, just really watching our hobby advance. There we go. Let's just do a final touch up here, and I think that actually looks pretty darn good considering it's been that long since I've done this. Because I tell you what, doing this this iron-on coating is just really, it is an art form, and I know I butchered it real well, but you know, with an airplane that I'm probably just going to end up repainting anyway, it is what it is, really. All right, so let's flip it over. You can see that it didn't come out that bad. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna have a few people telling me, "Well, Matt, that looks awful," but that's okay. That's okay. You know, it's I'm not going for the scale awards here quite yet. That'll be whenever I paint this thing. We're gonna spec it out, and then because I've flown the airplane and I still have access to Kingair 200s, I'll be able to get some good detailed photos and really work on it and make it look nice. If y'all see me keep looking out the window, I keep hearing noises out there. I think animals are getting hungry and dropping their buckets, but those silly guys, it's still dark outside. We don't do chores in the dark yet. So we have Christmas coming down the road. Do any of you guys know of any RC stuff that y'all are getting for Christmas? Please leave that in the comments too. We'd love to hear what everybody's getting. I don't think I'm going to be getting anything for Christmas for our RC stuff anyway. My wife and I already exchanged our Christmas present because, well, I mean, it was on sale, so we just went ahead and got it, and that's we got ourselves a wheat grinder. If you go to our other Facebook page, Flying H Farms, and also our YouTube channel, Flying H Farms, you'll see us. We do a lot of homesteading stuff, and last week I had my first crack at our scratch-made sourdough bread using our Christmas present, our wheat grinder, and it was pretty awesome. It came out really good. Yeah, but if any of y'all are getting some RC stuff or just want to tell us what y'all think y'all are getting for Christmas, we'd love to hear from you. By no means perfect, but I will say that'll do. Okay, so let's unplug this. So I'll show you guys. I mean, once again, it's definitely not professionally done, but it looks good. It's good enough. Good enough for me. It makes me happy. It's better than the bare wood showing, and it's also progress moving in the right direction. And to be quite honest, yeah, there's another little spot. To be quite honest, once we get primer and paint over, you won't even see it. So I'm not worried about it. And really, still probably won't even be able to see it just because it's going to be covered by the fuselage and all that stuff. All right. There's that. Okay, so I guess now that that's done, we can start getting all this plugged in. All right, so here's what we're looking at right now. This is all the plug-ins for the wings. I found these two individuals. They appear to be the throttle cables. I'm assuming that this is the light board. And then these are gonna be, it looks like flaps, landing gear, and yeah, flaps and landing gear and ailerons. So let's get those all plugged in and then we'll see what we got. And you can see the matching in here. We got the combo cord for the wing stuff, ailerons, flaps, landing gear, and then the light kit there as well. So let's get this all plugged in, see where we're at. Okay, we seem to be in. Everything seems happy so far. It seems fairly okay. Now the question is when we get that belly pan on, is that going to be enough? Let's see. Let's get the belly pan. They seem countersunk, so this seems fairly. Oh look, there's already washers in there too. So this may just do it, guys. This may just do it. Let's see. Okay, belly pan coming on. Hey, and we got a chicken girl coming in here finally.
When it got really cold, I had to share my heated blanket with a dog.
You did what?
I had to share a heated blanket with a dog.
Say hi to everybody, chicken girl.
Hello.
They can only see your hand. There she is.
Good morning.
So chicken girl, we got the coating back on over here. You see that? So there's no longer wood showing, and we plugged in all the plugs, and now we're going to screw in the wing screws.
Okay.
You want to do the wing screws?
Does Winnie look funny?
She always looks funny.
I put her in two jackets.
See if you can back her out a little bit and show everybody Winnie's cool jackets.
Come on, Winnie.
Still knock over the Kingair.
No, she's not going to do that. We're just going to knock over this. The truck part. Yeah, that's not working. She already cuts it. She's got a pink coat on and a blue coat on down here. Should be in a silly black poo poo. Harry.
Oh goodness. See, that's what we were talking about earlier, the weird noises. Here, well, I've got him in the window. You gotta see this, guys. Look, watch this. Look. I'm not sure if y'all can see him or not, but I keep hearing, yeah, you can see him. I keep hearing noises, and it was scaring the craziness out of me, and there's a horse face right here. Good morning, Harry. Good morning, buddy. All right, so let's go back to the plane here.
I need to feed Harry and let Buddy throw his fit.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a good view of the 182 back there, which, if I hadn't mentioned before, it is done, and we hope to get that made into you real soon. Okay, so let's see about these bolts now. I need to tighten them down a little bit better. Oh, look at that.
What
They both went through.
Okay, so you need to take them out, get a drill bit, and make holes for them.
All right, so that little pre-installed washer in there didn't exactly hold. It just kept going on through. So we need to...
Find a bigger washer.
Thank you, Chicken Girl. She is absolutely right. Yeah, we need bigger washers. That's my engineering department, by the way.
Molded the bag, Daddy, but it didn't go through the bag.
Well, that's good.
Because there's like plastic layers.
Well, that works. She's referring to our feed bags got mold on the outside, but it didn't make it through because of the plastic lining. Yeah, look, you can see right here, it had a washer on this side, actually on both sides, but on this side, the washer broke all the way through, so we gotta figure something else out. It was just, like, you could see it, it actually came through that little piece of wood. This wood was kind of thin, so we gotta figure something else out for it. Let's see what we
Bigger
got.
piece of wood, bigger washer, boom. I need to go find that other bucket.
So how are we gonna do this, Chicken Girl? Engineering department.
Bigger washer.
Well, I got that. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with you. I don't quite know how we're gonna do this.
And I've only been engineering for a little while.
She's been engineering for a little while.
Only since I was 5. You've been doing it since you were 5.
I have not been doing it since I was 5. I've been doing it since I was a teenager.
Well, still, you've been doing it longer than me. I've been doing it 5 years. You've been doing
She has been doing it 5 years. It's just that we didn't start recording it until like 2 years ago. Okay. I'm thinking that'll work. It's just, darn it, I wish that wouldn't have broke through. All right, guys, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over here to my drill press and we'll just open up that hole a little bit bigger and maybe we'll just drop the washer right inside. So put y'all right here.
Inside where?
Huh?
Inside where?
All right, so what do you mean inside where? Inside the hole that I'm making. All right, let's plug it in. Oh,
Is that too big of a drill bit?
well, I'm not gonna go all the way through. I'm just gonna go just enough to be able to bury that washer. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Or are you scared?
I'm scared it's gonna go a little too far and then be like, oops.
Well, I'm sure everybody watching has gone a little too far, right, guys? And there we go. You see we opened it up right there, you see. So that little seat should work, and then we'll glue it in and we'll see where that goes. So let's go back over here now.
I think you call it a crevice.
Yeah. Or, I don't know. Guys, y'all chime in. What is that called? Is it a crevice or what is it?
Seat or something here. There's a lot of words I don't know.
There's a lot of words you don't know,
Yep.
but there's a lot of words you do know.
Yeah, I know most of them, but not all of them.
We have a good time over here, guys, if y'all haven't noticed. Let's see about popping this guy off here.
Another piece of thin plastic. You got a bunch of it over here.
Well, actually, I'm getting it off clean. All right, this will work. Okay, cool. That popped off real clean.
What are you gonna do with it now?
I'm gonna go cut it, and I'm gonna do a square here and a square there, and then glue it down, because that just came like literally right off.
Glue it down a little stronger. Is my idea not that bad?
No, it's not bad at all.
Because whoever glued it on last. Well, what type of glue is that?
It was epoxy, and it didn't seem to bond very well.
Does epoxy usually bond well?
Usually. Yeah, I could just kind of. Here's what we'll do. Because this was centered on this hole. So I will go ahead and take my time, guys. We're gonna not rush this.
Yeah, he rushes a lot with everything.
Be nice. Be nice. That wasn't nice. No, we like honesty around here, and even if it's brutal. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna finish up today's episode. I'm going to.
What's this?
I'm just going to drop these in, and I'm gonna do a quick gluing with some CA just to hold them in place. And then when we come back to work on the Kingair, we'll have another strip of this thin plywood, and we'll do the same setup, but we'll use a little bit stronger glue so it doesn't come loose. Does that sound good, Chicken Girl? What do you think? Probably? Yes? No? Maybe?
Don't use Gorilla Glue is what I think. Because then it will puff up and the whole board will be sanded.
Well, I'm going to use Gorilla Glue. Because it.
Then you're going to have to watch it and make sure it doesn't block the hole.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to do that today.
Yeah, today you got to do chores.
Yeah, the sun's coming up, guys, so.
Yeah.
Once we get these pieces glued on, it's adios for us for today.
Yeah, and I got to go kick out the horses out of the pens. Except Sally still needs to eat.
Okay, so let's get these guys glued on. Let me make sure they're centered first.
It looks centered to me.
One's centered, one's not.
Oh dear. Here we go. Again.
Again?
Mm-hmm. You do this every day, and then the other one gets uncentered while you're trying to fix the one that wasn't centered.
She speaks truth, guys.
And then you get confused, and then you give up.
Oh, I don't give up.
But you do rush things.
Well, and that's why this time we're not rushing things.
Hey, look, Daddy, this is what this thing goes to.
Oh, is that why? I'm not sure if that's accurate. Okay, so we're just gonna dab a little thin CA on here to hold them in place. And guys, no, this is not how we're gonna actually do it. We're just holding them in place so when we get the new strip of plywood, we can drill the holes where they need to be and then plop it on top and then really glue them in. So.
We got a bunch of plywood back here.
All right, so we got a little CA dripped on those pieces. We're gonna let them dry, let it kind of hold its own. Like I said, that's not the permanent fix, but
His permanent fix is just Gorilla Glue.
yeah, we like the Gorilla Glue around here. No, the permanent fix will be when we actually get the plywood back on top of them, so we have a reinforcing situation. All right, guys, like I said, it's getting light outside. We've got a busy day. She's and her sisters are going to go see Cowboy Kringle today for photos. We'll post up those pictures whenever we get them on our social media, which reminds me also, guys, please check out our Facebook. We put a lot of stuff on there that we don't share on the channel. And take it away.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
And leave some comments. We look forward to talking to you. Bye.
Okay.
Hey, good job, you.
Okay.
Falling.